All right, lovely. How does that sound, Tori? Good?
That sounds
Happy with that?
wonderful, Dave. It's a bit better than when we were recording, but of course I'm in London. All the
Yes.
Cornish people I know say, T, please leave, because then we have great weather. And when you come back, well, it's raining.
It's you. It's your
It's
fault, is it? You're the one.
Well, the Cornish like to blame me in a nice, lovely way.
Yes, of course, because you're based down here, aren't you? You've got your recording studio down here and everything. And did you record the new album in the main down here?
Yes, we did.
Oh, see, it's inspirational, isn't it,
It
Tori?
absolutely is. My husband used to come there as a young boy with his parents. And so it's his place down there, and he loves it. And it's magical. There's no question about it. There's nowhere like it in the world.
And did you write down here as well? Do you use that inspiration to write down here?
Usually I'm traveling when I write, just because I need to break a routine as a writer. And when I'm writing, it's a very kind of you have to raise those demons up. So sometimes it's best not being around me when I'm doing that. Not good as a mom or a wife. So I kind of take myself off.
Right.
And I write a lot on tour because you get pushed into different certain scenarios and you hear a lot of people's stories. A lot of people just come up to me in a coffee shop and start telling me their story.
And you can use that, can you, in some songs?
Well, what happens is you start hearing a story, and then somehow the muses force me to have some type of experience that's similar so I can understand it. And it's a mixture of both.
The new single, which I'm going to play in full after we've done the interview, is wonderful.
Thank you.
Trouble's Lament. I love it. I think you've described it as a Southern blues song.
Well, I guess, I mean, it depends who I was talking to. I was talking with the Germans last week, and that's how they had heard it. I guess,
How do you see it then, Tori?
well, for me, I grew up listening. I was born in North Carolina, and I grew up listening to all kinds of music and storytelling. Johnny Cash. I had an uncle that loved Johnny Cash. So my husband was playing things for our teenage daughter, all kinds of records from the early 70s and the 60s, along with Stevie Ray Vaughan. And I think while he was playing her this, it's quite possible that that music reminded me of my growing up.
And that obviously then influenced maybe the song, which is terrific. The album, 14-track album, how do you personally rate this one compared to the stuff that you've done before?
It's difficult for me, Dave, being so close to it. I don't have any perspective on it, if I'm honest. Once I do an 80-city tour and I've played the songs live, you start to get a different, I don't know, understanding of it. But right now, my goodness, we just finished this a few weeks ago.
So it's nice and fresh for you at the moment.
Oh my goodness, we just finished. We literally finished this 3 weeks ago. That's how fast technology is. That we finished it, mastered it at Martian in Cornwall. And it went direct to the record plants and digitally to the label, and then it got released to the media overnight. So it just happened. We just finished it.
It's incredible, isn't it, what you can do these days?
These days.
You're on a massive world tour next month.
Yeah, right?
So does that mean we're going to have good weather here all summer? Because you're not going to be here.
I hope, yeah, you know what? I hope everybody has a great summer. I've got to go tour. My daughter said to me, I turned 50, and she just said, oh, enough, Mom. Go rock. Go rock.
Did you just say you turned 50?
Yeah.
Oh, my word.
But this lady in Tesco sorted me out in Launceston. Because she just did. She was turning 60, and I was getting husband some beer, and I had my glasses on and a hat, so you couldn't even see me. And she carded me, and I just almost kissed her feet. I worshiped that woman in Tesco. I said, "Oh my God!" And we, of course, she had a cheeky giggle. She said, "Yeah, I thought you needed it, darling." And she said she was going to be turning 60, and I just kind of had a meltdown in Tesco this time last year. I was 49, and so she just set me straight, and I kind of thought I've got to grab this with both hands. And that's when I kind of thought, no, I'm going to go out on my own. I'm going to play with the keyboards, go out with my crew. I'm not 80, and hopefully give a good show.
You'll still be gigging at 80, Tori, I'm sure. Do you see it as a monumental big birthday? Did it affect you?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you, Dave. Well, think about this. This is true. Women in the music industry, how many women 50 and up have frontline contracts with major labels? Not as many as the guys. I'm very blessed and fortunate to have one, and that's one reason my daughter was telling me, yeah, okay, we've got the information, Mom. Now go be great. So, again, it was just understanding that some people that I have known they're not on the planet anymore. It's an age when immortality, that idea that you have maybe even in your 30s, things become a bit more real. So I was just taking stock, I guess. And my 84-year-old mom said to me, "Darling, if I were 50 years old, you couldn't stop me. You couldn't stop me. So please, do me a favor and go live."
You want to take her on the road with you?
I'd love to take her on the road. My mom is such an inspiration to me. She survived colon cancer at 83, and she beat it. And she's been an inspiration to me every day. She reminds me that every day is an opportunity to create something, to learn something. And so she's my driving force.
Yeah, Tori, your daughter's going to feel the same way about you, though. You realise that, don't you?
Well, I hope so.
Maybe in years to come, perhaps.
Maybe so.
How do you deal with being a mum, writing new albums, recording albums, and then going off on a world tour? How do you cope with all of that?
Well, she ditched us at 11 and just said, you guys have done a really good job, but I got to go live my life. And my husband and I were just kind of looking at her, thinking, you're 11. And she said, yeah, I'm going to boarding school. And she got into Sylvia Young Performing Arts School in London. And she said, I really love you guys, but I'm going to get old really quick unless I make my way. And that was that.
So you'd said goodbye to your daughter. Well, not completely goodbye, but you know what I mean.
She said goodbye to us.
Okay.
And she's been around the world over 6 times. So she's been on the world tour since she was 1. So therefore, she's been brought up backstage. Like I was brought up in churches. She was brought up at Radio City and the Albert Hall and Sydney Opera House, the backstage area. That's where she's been having scooters backstage her whole life. So she's grown up in a sort of different world because my husband and I, he's a sound engineer, and we've been touring together since '94.
It sounds like, Tori, you've got real energy for this tour coming up and the new album coming out. It sounds like you're really excited about it.
I am excited. Dave. I think the last few years I've been working at the National Theatre, which was exhilarating, and working with Deutsche Grammophon. So it's been a very different world. I've been under contract, but I haven't been really in the pop world. Therefore, it's exciting to be part of it again.
Do you see it as a return to the pop world, or are you just releasing a new album and you'll see where it goes?
Well, a return. I haven't stopped working, so I've been I've been racing my motorbike on a different circuit. So I'd say to you, I'm back to dirt bikes now.
Surfing on a different wave.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good Cornish one for you, isn't it? All right, we're going to play the song after the news. It's been lovely to have you on. Can I just mention a couple of things that listeners have given us a call about?
Of course.
I've got a mention here from Fluffy, who's down in Falmouth. I'm sure
Great.
you're very familiar with Falmouth.
Yes.
Any chance you could play Winter by Tori Amos, one of my favourite songs of all time. A very clever lady with a stunning voice.
Aw. Well, I get a lot of requests for Winter. That's probably one of my top 5 requests worldwide.
Will you do that on your tour?
Yes,
Will
I'll
you
do it.
Do the
I'll do
biggies
it.
as well?
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it. When you come see me, I don't just say, I'm playing the new record. I realize that people don't, they need a mixture.
Yeah.
So it's 14 albums now, and B-sides. So you have to, I mean, I love playing for people. I was a piano bar player. So half the time you're dealing with requests, and I take requests. Absolutely.
You're comfortable in front of an audience?
Strangely enough, yes. I'm not very comfortable in a room of people or at, what do you call it?
What if you're networking or at some social event?
No, I'm not
Don't like that?
comfortable. No, I'm not
Cocktail
comfortable.
parties? No.
No, I'm not comfortable.
All right.
I don't know what that is, but in a room full of people, not strangers, but people, it's like you're in their living room.
If ever we have a cocktail party here, we'll make sure there's a piano in the corner.
Yeah, and I'll play.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'll take
Okay,
requests.
good. All right. Design Room here have just tweeted, just listening to my total musical heroine, Tori Amos, on the show. She is awesome. And here's an interesting one. Luann has just sent us a tweet. There's a bit of a useless fact, but Professional Widow by Tori Amos blew the speakers in my husband's car.
I don't know if that's a testament to the record or to the speakers, but there you go.
I think she turned it up rather loud. Tori, it's been absolutely wonderful to have you on. The new album is called Unrepentant Geraldines. Can you just quickly tell me what that means?
Well, my daughter asked me the same thing. It can mean whatever you want, but Geraldine is any woman. And I reckon as a minister's daughter, at a certain point, you've got to be unrepentant.
All right. The new single is called Trouble's Lament. You can hear that straight after the news. Been wonderful to have you on, Tori, and have a great time on tour.
Thank you, Dave.
And come back to Cornwall, but not in the summer because we want nice weather.
I promise.
All right.